All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Evolve podcast, where we have interesting and insightful conversations. Today, I have a really amazing guest, my soul sister, Anna. I met Anna in Costa Rica in May last year, and we met each other on a sweaty beach club dance floor, bumped into each other the next day or later on, maybe it was a week or so after.
Yeah.
Anyway, bumped into each other at the gym, and then I was like, hey, do you want to go get a smoothie? And we did, and the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Anna, thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me, love. I'm so happy to be here, and it's weird because it's just an everyday conversation, you know? So.
Because our chats are deep, right?
Our chats are deep.
Yeah.
We have the best conversations. I think that's why I became so close to you so quickly. Is like we both were like, ooh, let's open up.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So I'm really excited about today's chat because we're going to be touching on a few different topics. And I guess the first thing that I'd love for you to do, Anna, is to tell us a little bit about your life. You're like, where do I start? Tell us, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
Yeah, that sounds good. And you're right. It's like, where do I begin? Yeah, so right now I'm solo traveling. I started that about a year and a half ago after I kind of just had this moment in my life where it's like, I want to break out of the cycle that I'm in. I want to jump into something new. And that evolved into changing so much about my life and jumping into full-time travel. And that's what I'm doing now. And that's what led me to Costa Rica. And what's keeping me here, because I love it so much, and the community and meeting you and the discovery of places just like this. And along the way, it has completely shifted my perspective and grown me into a completely different person than I used to be.
Do you know what? I had never heard of solo traveling until I met you.
That's so wild.
I don't know if that's an Australian thing
Wait,
or
are you
what.
serious?
Yeah, I'd never ever heard the term of solo traveling.
You're doing that right now.
I know. I'm solo living.
Yeah, you're solo living, but you are solo traveling. I mean, you're completely on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is solo traveling something, like, have you done much of that in your life?
I had done it for work in the sense of like I was going to corporate events or I was, it was very structured, you know, this was very different. Or, you know, small vacations, meeting someone somewhere. So I had traveled alone, but I had never really completely like put my life into a pack like I did and took off, you know, completely by myself.
With no like end destination, like no end date.
No.
Either.
No. And honestly, no plan either. Like literally just the feeling inside of me, like God's got me. I have a support system. I feel this. I know this. And everything about this is the direction that I know I need to move into. But I need to actually do it and not just talk about it, you know?
Describe that for us a little bit, please. Like, tell us about the time when you realized that it was like, oh, I'm feeling called to do something completely different, completely out of the box.
Yeah. And
kind of describe the sensation that you felt and, walk us through that.
So, gosh. Well, I mean, when I was younger, I always had a love for travel. I think a lot of people grow up with the desire to like see something more and explore and be adventurous. And as children, that's exactly what we are. You know, we want to see more and we want to discover, and we've got this imagination and this ambition. And for me, that never died. Like it just continued to build up, and it became like this volcano that needed to erupt. You know. And this part of me that felt like was literally missing. Like there was parts of me that I needed to go discover around the world. And so, but at the time I had a lot of logistical things keeping me in the routine that I was in, you know, like family members, living in the US, a marriage, my dream apartment, a business, like so much. So the idea to just jump into this was scary and risky.
Did it feel like it wasn't possible because you had all of those other things like present in your life?
110%. And it was more than just, impossible. It was like, oh, I'm so selfish for wanting to think this. I'm so selfish. Why would I want to do that? You know, like, why would you want to be completely on your own? You already have everything that you need, but having everything that you need doesn't mean you have everything that you want. You know, there's a huge difference. And I was just unaware of that at the time. So to kind of go back to your question is, it didn't hit me like a light switch. You know, it was a buildup over time. A lot of avoidance, trying to just bury that feeling down and not address it.
So it was more so like a little niggle.
Yeah.
There was a little niggle beneath the
Yes.
surface that it was like, yeah, like you're living a great life. This is everything that you've ever wanted. Like, you know, you should be happy. And there was just like this little niggle deep down that you were like, there's something more. And you were just avoiding it.
Exactly. And I love that you were saying like the little voice of, you should be happy, because that's exactly how I felt all the time. It's like, you should be happy. You should be happy. Why aren't you happy? And the truth is like, I didn't know why I was craving these things. I didn't know why I wasn't happy. You know, at the time I had no idea how unself-aware I was. And that really held me back from being able to discover the best version of myself, you know, or what I want that to be, I should say. So it really, really changed for me, you know, once I made the commitment to say like, okay, none of these things are bumps in the road anymore. This is actually a part of the journey. And I'm going to embrace it. And all of this pain is for a reason. And that really came to me when I literally, with no belief in God at all at the time, or the universe, or anything, I was like, I'm alone. And I want to be present. I need something. I need guidance. And so I got down on my hands and my knees in my room in Colorado and just literally scream cried and gave everything to God. Like bloody murder screaming, like, give me a direction. You know, like, I know you have a path for me. I know I've been told that there's a journey. I know that there's a path, but I'm not seeing it because this doesn't feel right, you know?
So what was happening in your life that didn't feel right?
Yeah.
At that time?
A lot of, man, you know, I hate to say it, but almost everything.
Yeah.
Everything, you know?
What were those things?
My marriage was a huge one. And that was one that I really wanted to avoid having to face because he was a great guy. The job that I was doing, I really wanted to avoid because it was really successful.
And you were making lots of money and it was safe and secure.
Exactly. Because it was correct. I should be happy, you know?
And Anna, just so you guys know, like, she is an incredible photographer and had a ridiculously successful like wedding photography business where she would travel internationally and have all of these amazing like clients that is paying big bucks, you know, for her services. So you were very much nestled like into this safe, secure, stable life.
110%. And it was like, not just that, but when you're building something like that business, it's built on personal connection. It's built on trust. So I had all of these things that were built on the way that people perceived me. You know, my relationship. Okay, well, all of these thoughts going through my head. If I choose to get a divorce, what is his family going to think of me? What is my family going to think of me? If I choose to close my business, what are other people going to think of me? What's, you know, all these what if. And it's like, if I spend the rest of my life living in these what ifs, I actually never will
live.
I will never live. And that was like a really hard decision to bring to my awareness, was like, okay, you're literally thinking about every single person but yourself. And I felt so not allowed to feel that way. You know, not allowed to say, it's okay to have these feelings.
It's okay to want what I want.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sure so many people are listening to this thinking, oh shit, like feeling a little bit called forward and hopefully in a very loving way, because that's always the intention, right? It's like sometimes, you know, we can find ourselves in a stage of life where it's like, oh, wow, like I've got everything that I thought I wanted. Why don't I feel good? You know, like when I had this similar thing when I was like 23 or whatever. I finished my nursing degree and I'd just gotten the dream job. And then I got into the transition to professional practice program to become a midwife. And there were like 6 spots. Like it was crazy that I got that. And it wasn't only just open to people who had just done their first year of nursing. It was open to everyone. I got it. And I got this job and I was like, this doesn't feel right. I was like, why don't I feel thrilled about this? And I was like, maybe because I haven't lived any life yet. Like I haven't done any travel. And I was like, I might just prioritize some travel and a little bit of exploration. And then my sister and I booked a Europe trip and then I went on The Bachelor and then all of these other things happened. But there was definitely like an acknowledgement of something's off. Can't ignore it. Like I wasn't going to ignore it. And that's something I've always been good at. Like I feel a little niggle or I feel I like to call it the invisible thread. I feel the invisible thread connecting me to something and I'm like, oh, I need to follow that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of what brought me here. But from your story, like you kind of felt that niggle and that invisible thread. And there was a period of time where there was quite a lot of resistance.
110%. And it was more than resistance. It was avoidance, you know, because it was like this feeling is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I'm not only avoiding it, but now because I'm unhappy in the lifestyle I'm in and I feel like I should be happy, I started, without even really realizing what I was doing at the time, trying to find happiness in pretty much anything else. So seeking validation and guilty pleasure from things that were hurting me and harming me and digging me deeper and bringing me on the wrong path even more, because that pleasure was making me feel good. Like, oh, you know what? If I do these drugs, if I, have this open relationship, if I drink this alcohol, I feel good.
Yeah.
That's not happiness.
No.
You know?
What was going on there?
Elaborate on going on in me at the time.
Yeah, like what were you like? It's funny. Like I've also been in a similar position in my life where it's like something doesn't feel right, and you're like, okay, what can I do to feel good?
Yeah.
And then we start seeking these other ways of feeling good, and often it's fucking self-destructive.
It's so self-destructive, and it's so sad. And like, gosh, this is why I'm so in love with breath work and meditation now. It's like I can actually go back to that girl and hug her and say, it's okay. You're actually exactly where you need to be. You're exactly where you need to be. These experiences that you're having are all here to teach you a lesson. But you don't know it at the time, obviously. And that self-destruction starts to hurt you so bad. And, you continues to lower your self-worth and the way that you see yourself, especially when it's truly out of alignment with who you are. Like for me, just dabbling more into it's like, I never wanted to be married and also have an open relationship. I never wanted to commit to someone and feel like I didn't love them. I never wanted that. But I couldn't avoid anymore the way that I felt. And when you are and you're seeking this happiness through these wrong things, it starts making you feel like, oh, I'm not worthy of this. Something feels so wrong because these aren't in alignments with me. But yet I'm still doing them. I'm partaking in them. Why is that, And I think the first thing that made a big difference was I had to tell someone. I was like, and I can't just tell my husband because he's partaking too.
Yeah.
Who am I going to be very vulnerable and open with and fully let my guard down because I need help? And it needs to be a voice. It can't just be God. I need someone in my face. And it's crazy. I have this like amazing connection with my sister, and I didn't even have to tell her. It was like because our families had no idea, specifically like the open, and my family didn't know how much I was drinking and using drugs. And my sister calls me one day, and I was just like, I remember this so well. And like nothing was even said to each other, And it's like, God, the power of sisterhood is just insane. And I remember answering the phone, and she's just looking at me. We're just looking at each other. No, it sounds like weird, And she just goes, it's okay. Like, you're going to be okay. And that was all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
It's like, the way you feel is valid. And I see you for who you are, not the actions you're doing. And I know they're not you, and called me forward and completely allowed me to say, I can actually step on the right path now.
Wow.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, sometimes it's just the acknowledgement, right, that's needed. It's like, hey, I know what you've been doing, like, and I know that it's not you.
Yeah.
And it's almost like just that, the acknowledgement of that, and to be able to receive that. It's like, you can then kind of like take that on fully yourself and be like, yeah, this isn't me. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I need to shift out of this, right? Wow, sis. My goodness. So isn't it wild, like, looking back now?
Oh my
So I'm
gosh.
curious, what did you learn?
A lot, because it wasn't just that made me learn. Like, that broke me. That put me at the bottom of the barrel for me. That was, I'm hitting rock bottom. I'm losing my business. I'm losing my husband. I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm not feeling like myself. My family's not talking to me. His family, who also was, an extension of my own, is not talking to me. I'm completely fucking alone. What am I going to do about it? And that's when the lessons began. It wasn't, okay, now I've actually done all the work and it hurt. The lessons began when I got to that new country completely alone.
Do you know what's interesting? It's like, when you were in that situation, when you were in that life where you were like, I've got everything, but something's not right. What are they going to think? What are they going to think? Oh my gosh. Like, it was always about other people.
Yeah.
And it's almost like God was like, no, we need to strip all of this away so that you can just be with you, and you can figure out who the fuck you are and what you want.
Yeah.
Because, sis, this is your life. It ain't no one else's life.
I know.
You're the main character of this shit, right?
And, oh God, and I say it all the time. I'm like, you're allowed to create any reality, any life that you want. You are in control. You are so much more in control than you believe or even want to believe. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to feel the pain. Lean into the fear. Lean into the uncomfortability. That is where all of that avoidance is, Stop avoiding those feelings, because those are where the lessons are. Those are what the change comes in. That's where the growth is. And it's not just make a simple decision. It's take it day by day.
Yeah.
Discover who you are. And just trust yourself, listen to your nervous system, listen to your mind. Because I think at the end of the day, it's like the one thing that really kept me going was like, I know my values. I know that I want to be this type of person. I know that I'm on a journey to be the best version of myself. These actions are out of alignment. This relationship is out of alignment. And it's not actually something I want to try to go fix. It's something that I never actually desired, but was only seeking validation from.
Wow.
And now, completely on my own, I can go discover who I am, let my guard down, and let everything that needs to come to me arrive right on time. And that mindset obviously came in over time and more and more lessons. But I think you have to have that type of mindset.
I love what you said before. You were like, just take it day by day. That's literally it. You know, like so many people get stuck in this position where they're like, something's not right. I'm stuck. I don't feel good. I feel lost.
Right.
Everything's fucked. Blah, blah, blah. You know, unhappy, or just maybe not even to that degree. Maybe just like a bit of general unease, being like, something feels a bit off. You know, maybe it's a little bit more subtle. And the idea of doing something different can be really scary for people because it's unfamiliar, and naturally your nervous system is like, oh, it's unfamiliar, it's not safe, we're not going there. And then the mind kicks in and starts to tell you all of the reasons why you can't, right? And for you, I'm married, you know, I've got the best business, like I should be happy, right? When it's like, no. And so then the trap is when we look at where we want to be, and that can feel like it's a long way away. When really it's like, whoa, bring your focus a little closer. What's the next thing you can or could do? What's just the next step? What's tomorrow look like? Yeah, because this is a journey, you know. Unfortunately, we can't just bloody leapfrog over to the end destination. Like, you're not going to learn anything that way. We've actually got to walk the path. We've got to take day by day. We've got to month by month, you know, and there's so much growth that happens along that. And there's this saying that I love to say, and it's that the journey is the reward.
110%. The journey is when you can, I think, and I think this is something I'm practicing and embracing in my life now, is like, I don't actually believe that there's ever this final destination, this final goal that we're going to get to. It's your life is this path. Your life is this journey. And little things are going to pop up along the way. Embrace every single thing of it. It's there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, embrace the heartbreak you feel from somebody that you once loved. Embrace the loss of a business because something better is going to come. Yeah. And then embrace the good too, you know? I think we have this like idea, at least me at the time, is like, a journey has to be something hard. No, it doesn't. It actually can be amazing.
Ooh, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. Giving yourself permission to not always be looking for what's wrong, what's the next thing I've got to grow through, what's this, you know, actually giving yourself permission to be like, oh, life gets to be good right now. I get to relish in it. I get to bask in it. I think it's sad that, you know, there's obviously a lot of shit going on in the world, and there's a lot of suffering that people are experiencing, and it can be really tough. Like in terms of social media, like, you know, you get on your feed and then you see someone like, you know, something bad's happening to someone, whatever that might look like, might be heartbreak, might be death. Like literally you don't know what you're going to fucking get on that feed. And like people feel guilty about enjoying their lives. So I love what you just said there. You know, it's like there are definitely like seasons we go through on this journey, on this path, this game that we're playing. And, you know, there may be seasons where it's like, oh, I'm going through it right now. You know, I'm growing, I'm shedding, like, everything feels like it's ripping away.
Yeah.
And it's meant to. And then what comes after is almost like this, like things kind of plateau, like in a good way. And it's like, oh, I can just kind of settle into this now and enjoy what it's like to be here in this new identity and what that looks like. And then we go again.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you and I have talked about this reference a lot, but I love sharing it because I live by it now. And it really, really, really came to my awareness when I got to Costa Rica, but it's like being in the ocean. You get out there and you look at, you know, you get out to where the break is. And I don't know about you, but like when I was a little kid, we would run and just like play and like want to get hit by the waves and stuff like that. But it's like you run out to the ocean, you look at the wave about to crash in front of you. You look it straight in the eye and it hits you. It's going to hurt bad. You might feel some pain.
If you don't time it well.
If you don't time it well,
you might get fucked up.
you might get hurt really bad. But instead of being afraid of it or trying to jump over it or avoid it, if you actually work with it and embrace it, it becomes this beautiful experience. It's a big thing I've learned through surfing. It's like, have you ever gone under the wave and you just are quiet and it's like the wave crashes above you and you're completely safe and it's quiet and you're like held. And you come back up for air and it's that beautiful ocean again. And it's like, try that instead of standing right in front of the wave and being like, oh, fuck. Here it comes. What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
I'm just going to hold still.
I'm just going to hold still and think about how this is about to hurt. It's like, yeah, okay, well, now it's going to hurt, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Depends how you approach it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I love that. And that's true. Like mindset is like when we kind of harness our mindset with more intention, we can really navigate challenges and obstacles with more grace and more ease versus more suffering. Like we can really make things harder on ourselves, right? And that comes down also to like the story that we tell ourselves. Yeah. Now, a lot of people don't really realize this, that it's like you can actually choose your thoughts. You can redirect them. Yeah. A beautiful way to kind of practice this is in running. Yeah. The first time I ever got into running was when I was living back on the Gold Coast. And every motherfucker's running in the Gold Coast. Everyone's like throwing up their Strava on their social media and I'm like,
no.
Yeah, everyone froths it. And I'm like, I want to get into running. Okay, so I was like, I'm going to go for a run. And I was like, I'm going to run 3Ks. That's where I'm going to start this journey. And so I show up at the time I decided I was going to run. I had New Balance 9060s or 9600s. Girls, everyone in Australia, you know what they are. They're heavy. I had these heavy joggers on, right? And I put my headphones in flat. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, oh shit.
Sounds like me this morning.
Yeah. And then I didn't warm up. Like I did and before I train, I love to do a good foam roll because it just the way I feel in my body is so much better when I'm trained. So I didn't warm up. And so already I'm like, this is against me. This is against me. This is against me. I'm like, oh, this is going to be shit. So already I'm like, I'm creating my experience based off these factors. And it's like, hang on, what if it wasn't shit? Yeah, there was no pause there in that moment. So anyway, I started my run and I'm trotting along and I'm puffed after like 500 meters. And I'm like, fuck, I said to myself I was going to run the whole time. And I was like, I can't run anymore. I was like, this is boring and I'm puffed and my hip hurts and my knee hurts. What the fuck? I'm like, how are these motherfuckers running 10Ks? This is psycho. And so then I'm just going to walk for a little bit. And then I'll run a little bit again. And for the first K and a half, I was not enjoying the run. I was like, this fucking sucks. I was very negative Nancy during this run. And then I got to the halfway point and I was like, right, sis, you're going to run the rest of the way. Yeah, you're just going to take it easy. You're going to cruise. And I was like, and you're going to shift your focus because you've been focusing on everything that sucks about this situation. That was my automatic response, right? That was just what was happening. Yeah. Unconsciously, I was focusing on all of the shitty things and that was creating this shitty run of an experience. And so once I clocked that, I was like, whoa, you need to shift your focus, babe. I instead started to rizz myself up. Yeah. So I chose a different internal dialogue. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, you're running. You're amazing. Like you're still running. Yeah, your hip hurts and you're running. Fuck yeah, you're a weapon. Like go on, queen, pop off, keep going. You know, I did not let that stream of inner chat stop. And I ran the rest of the way I ran. I stopped focusing on my knee and my hip and how much pain that I was in. I stopped focusing on how bored I was and I instead just shifted my focus to positive chat. And that changed the whole experience for me. You know, it was day and night in comparison, the first half of the run versus the second half of the run.
100%.
You know, so it's like when we experience challenges in life, a really, really powerful belief to bring to your awareness is that this is happening for me. Whatever the breakup, I know it fucking sucks, sis. I know you're probably hurting and trust me, it's happening for you. Yeah, like your story, what you were sharing before, Anna, how you're like, oh, I was living my life for fucking everyone else, basically.
Yeah.
And you're trying to, how do I escape it? I'm just going to go down this path of self-destruction. Maybe that'll maybe if I do all these things, I'll feel better. But, you know, ultimately you're just hurting yourself.
Yeah.
And God didn't want that for you. The universe didn't want that for you. And so it was like, right, we're going to get rid of all of these things, you know? And so hats off to you, sis, for having the courage to actually receive that invitation and to do something about it. Because now you've reached a new checkpoint, you know, and this new checkpoint is about who the fuck's Anna? What does Anna want?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let Anna sit with Anna. And that's amazing.
Thank you, sis. I love you. You're the best.
I love you.
It is true though. Like, it is about our perspective. You know, if you would have asked me when I was living in Colorado, hey, do you think that you're going to be living in Costa Rica and pursuing your like dream of full-time travel and I'd be like, no, that was like a imagination I had when I was a kid, right? It's like when we're children, going back to like talking about being a kid, because I love something you've taught me is like really allowing you to reconnect with your inner child, is when we're children, we have this ambition and this imagination and these ideas, and we're not afraid of what people think because we haven't been hurt yet.
And everything's possible when you're a kid.
Everything is possible. We can be a rock star. We can be an astronaut. What the fuck happened to that?
Yeah.
Where does that go? Tap back into that shit.
When did we
Let it
decide to
happen.
put that down?
Yeah. I think it happens when you experience something bad and it hurts your ego a little bit and it hurts your motivation or
Knocks your confidence.
knocks your confidence. Exactly. And you're like,
I'm not good enough, or
Actually,
I can't do that, or I'm not worthy, or that's not possible for me.
Right.
And also I think the other thing to note is the program of society. You know, like as we get older, that becomes more deeply ingrained in us. You know, it's like, oh yeah, you just go to school, then you go to uni, then you get engaged, then you get married, then you buy a house, then you have kids, and you work and you pay off your mortgage.
yeah.
You know, so it's like anything outside of that, and people love to belong, right? People love to belong and feel like they belong to something, and being on the outside of that and doing something different, again, that can kind of feel like you don't belong.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that? Yeah, the idea of doing something completely different and stepping away from your life and everything as it was. What was that like? How did you do that?
Yeah. So I think like for me, even when I got to the first country, like I was super excited. I was alone and I was like, you know, I felt free and I still wanted to belong. I still was seeking for people, for connection. And I was actually seeking for them to do the same effing activities, to drink, to party, to do one night stands, to do all these things. I was actually still trying to stay in that comfortability, you know, because of the fear of looking within. And it wasn't until I started being like, actually, the really, really when it hit was I was out with some friends, like strangers, you know, because when you're solo traveling, the whole world becomes, you're friends with everyone. Strangers are not strangers. They're new friends. And I was out with strangers and I met this really hot Brazilian guy. And I was like, oh, I want to have a one night stand with him so bad. And we went back to like my place at the time. And he was just the nicest guy. He was so respectful and he wanted to get to know me for me. And he wanted a wife.
Oh.
And I just got done being a wife. So I was like, no, I'm trying to fuck around. Like, you're hot. Like, let's hang out, you know, like, come on. And he was just like asking me about my values. And I was like,
Oh my God, this
he
is
was
amazing.
Yeah, he was way, way older than me. And we didn't sleep together. And he like tucked me into my bed like my dad or something. He's just such a sweet guy. And he's like, you know, what's your relationship like with your mom? And da-da-da. And actually, like, literally asking me questions I never really addressed, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. And I woke up the next day. He left. He wanted to stay in touch. Obviously, I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm trying to fuck around and avoid. And I was looking myself in the mirror that day, and I like had my makeup on from last night. I had my leather jacket like on the chair, and I was like really thinking about those questions, and I was like, I remember this. Oh my God. I just started crying, and I was like, the fuck am I doing? I'm still so lost, you know? Now I'm on the other side of the world. I know I've cleared those things. I know I don't want those things. Why did I think this one-way ticket to this one place? Like, something's going on within. I need to address it. Kind of just having this panic attack in the mirror. And why I believe so much in solo travel and the art of being alone is because moments like that is when you break through. Ooh. No more excuses. No more bullshit. You're looking yourself in the mirror alone on the other side of the world, no communication, and the only person to talk to is your fucking self. Ooh. And everything shifted. So literally the next day I went to a monastery and sat with a monk for 12 hours, and that kind of started the whole
wow.
That's when stuff shifted.
Do you know what? I love how divinely planned everything is. Like, everything really is like put in front of you for a specific reason. Like, you attracted that Brazilian guy to ask you those fucking questions for you to actually look at yourself.
Yeah.
That is God.
Isn't that crazy? I projected them outside of me. Yeah.
Yeah, that is God just being like, all right, it's time to let's have a little chat. You know, like, let's act, like, enough of the avoidance. Wow, I love that.
God was like, let's put it in the shape of a Brazilian man that she'll talk to, because she's not listening to me
or herself.
So let's give her Raphael. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
It's so true, though. It's like, fuck, sometimes we are expecting lessons in the obvious ways, and they come in the hidden ways. It's the perspective that we're willing to address. Anything that comes into our life is there for a reason, whether it's good or bad. It's all part of the journey. It's like, then you see the lessons.
Yes.
Then you see the growth.
You have to look, though.
Yeah,
you have to be curious. You know, like, that's the thing about life. People are living this life where they've got the fucking blindfold on, and they're just doing the next thing. They're just dating the next guy, the same kind of guy. You know, it's just like, you've got a fucking blindfold on. Yeah. The lights are off, and you're just flailing around, fucking around, trying to figure it out. But you're not figuring it out because you're not seeing what's happening in front of you, and you're not recognizing that that is a clue. There is medicine all around us. You just need to wake up and actually start to be curious about it. Yeah. And so, to give you a little bit more direction on that, it's like the people that you attract. Yeah. And what they bring up for you emotionally. You know, if you get triggered, that's a clue. That's inviting you to look at something within yourself, a wound. Yeah. That's why that person is there. That's God in that moment being like, look, you are scared of commitment. Because you've attracted another guy that won't commit to you. Yep. This is you deep down. Yeah. Where did that come from? Yeah. Your parents, probably. Yeah. Right? That is me. That was that was me.
But no, those repetitive patterns are hard sometimes to address.
They can be subtle.
They're super subtle, and it feels comfortable. So because it's comfortable, it's a pattern. You're used to it. So how are you supposed to recognize it, right? And it's like, I was telling you this the other day. It's like, when I started writing, and really when I started journaling, but it was when I started rereading my journals. I was like, ooh, you're still avoidant in these ways. I see you doing the same shit, you know? And it's like, okay.
My goodness.
You know, it's hard to see sometimes. You need it literally written in paper in your own handwriting to know.
And that's why, you know, I'm about to start with my coach again on Tuesday. Hallelujah. I need you.
But I love that you're like, I need you. And I
like, need some help.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody needs some help, because the thing is, it's like, they're called blind spots for a reason. we can't see our own blind spots. And that's why it's helpful to, even through friendships, you know, to be able to have conversations with friends where you can open up and be vulnerable and like share what's going on. Like that's a really powerful way to be able to also see your blind spots. But yeah, having a coach or a mentor is honestly the best fucking thing. And yeah, I've been going through it. You know, I've been going through it. I've been going through it with some stuff. I feel like I'm going through like a next level of spiritual awakening, and it kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah. It's been more subtle up until now. This one feels really fucking on me.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's part of it. I know everything's temporary.
Yeah. But also it's like when you come out, I mean, I was just telling you, I mean, when I got out of India, that was like my second spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit.
I'm sorry, guys. There's multiple.
Yeah. But they feel so good afterwards. You're like, you've opened up a new level of consciousness. It's just like this beautiful chapter that it's almost like when you're reading an intense book and at the end, it's like all this crazy stuff happens. And then they're like, or like right before a commercial break, it's like, all right, we'll give you the answer, you know, after the commercial. It's like, that's what happens sometimes in life with a spiritual awakening. It's like all this intense buildup, all this stuff happens and you don't know what's going on. Boom, new chapter opens. It's this beautiful new beginning and you've become this better person, you know? And it's
like this. I just saw a caterpillar and a butterfly like emerge from a cocoon. It's just like that. And we just go through iterations of that again and again. Some other examples that I wanted to share as well around clues, so that people can start to recognize what to look out for. You know, we spoke about emotional triggers. We spoke about the people that we attract and how we feel when we're with them. It's like, you're feeling insecure when you're with someone. That's a clue about you. Yeah. How you feel in social settings, you know, you're self-conscious, are you retracting, how you feel when you're talking to another sister, like do you feel closed off, do you feel like you're restricting, like these are all clues, and it's showing you that there's some resistance or some barriers up against whatever it is that's in front of you. And we want to take those barriers down, because truly the most precious gift is like leaning into that edge and pushing through it and seeing what's on the other side. Like sisterhood in particular, like that's a recent edge that I've really like pushed into, and plant medicine last September really helped me with that in a big way. And I'm forever leaning more and more into it and opening my heart more and more to women. And it's so fucking beautiful on the other side of that. And in the past, I used to always keep people like women at an arm's length, you know, and I'd always kind of gravitate towards men more, you know? So looking out for those things. It's like, where are you noticing yourself constrict or making yourself shrink or avoid, or, you know, even just like making eye contact with someone. That's another one. What other examples are there? Even how you allow yourself to be treated. That's a big one. Like if you're in a relationship, relationships are the biggest teachers of all.
Oh my gosh, 100%, because you're literally letting everything down. You're letting your guard down. You're becoming that raw onion again. And you're like, okay, like this is all of me. I'm being super vulnerable. You either take it or leave it. It's when we allow them to dictate, you know, what that looks like, if they're how we feel. We allow relationships or guys to, when we're in that raw, vulnerable state, their words affect us, and then that become our identity.
If we take it on.
Exactly.
Yeah, we get to decide what we pick up and what we put down.
Exactly.
Right? So, yeah. Sorry if you guys can hear like trucks and shit in the background, by the way. I don't know if that's being picked up on, but it's kind of loud, so I'm just acknowledging it.
Yeah, they're like moving in.
We embrace it. Yeah, we embrace it. But yeah, like how we allow ourselves to be treated, and also how we treat other people and how we show up. They're also clues telling you about you. There's this great example that I have. Like I was a 14-year-old girl. Anyway, we don't even realize that our behavior is a clue, and that our behavior is unconscious. Like 95% of what you do, your behaviors, habits, emotions, thoughts, it's all unconscious, right? And it's made up of the programming from when you were younger. So I'll give a really good example of this because it fucking hits the nail on the head. My parents, when they argue, their style is that my mum kind of just like shuts down and goes quiet and doesn't talk to dad. And she learned that from her mum, and that's what her mum did, right? And so I was 14 and we were on a family holiday and I was kicking the soccer ball with some boys and my friend who came on holiday with me. And the boys were kicking the ball really high and they kicked it and was like banging on cabin roofs and stuff. My dad came out and blasted them and I was so humiliated. I was so embarrassed. What did I do?
Oh, you shut down.
I didn't talk to dad for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like that was an automatic thing, you know, like I wasn't a little girl sitting there with a fucking clipboard watching how my parents argued and whatever they did and being like, okay, when I fight with someone, the thing that I should do is just not talk to them. Okay, cool. You know, it becomes automatic. So start to be curious about your behaviors and your habits and how you respond, because they're also clues, and it's also an invitation to us to learn more about ourselves and then to choose what we want to happen next.
100%.
Yeah, it's like, who do I want to be?
Right.
Yeah. How do I want my life to go? Like, how do I want to approach conflict with my partner? Do I want to shut down? Do we want to stonewall each other and like be shit? Like, or do we want to come together and grow together?
Yeah.
Yeah. And both like recognize within each other that's like, oh, I'm feeling activated because of this. I think it's from childhood.
Right.
You know, and it's like support each other through it. So it's like being conscious.
Yeah. Something that you say all the time is like, and this shift was a huge shift. I remember the first time you said it to me. And it was a huge perspective shift for me. It's like we're constantly having a conversation with the universe.
Yes.
And this is one of those examples. It's like, again, with a relationship, person you're spending a lot of time with, a person you're vulnerable with. That's a great example of how are you responding? What are you telling the universe that you deserve or what you desire?
Yes.
And it doesn't mean it's supposed to be easy, because it's not. Especially when you have those mixed emotions like a relationship where you love someone, and then you have to tell the universe, actually, even though I love you, I know what I want. And the way I respond is the way that the universe is going to listen. So, hey, actually, I deserve better. The universe is going to say, ooh, yeah.
Show me then.
Show me.
Show me that you deserve better. Walk away.
Walk away.
Because the conversation we're having is through our actions.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Because you can be saying like, oh, you know, I want to be with a man that honors and respects me. And then you're going and having a one night stand on the weekend. It's like, yeah, what kind of conversation are you actually having?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's through your actions, right? I want to bring things back to like this journey that you've been on, Anna, because it's been definitely one where you've spent a lot of time on your own.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about how that experience has been for you and what you've gotten from being alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Like huge fucking courage, huge, massive, massive courage, like what you've done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk about that.
So like kind of talking about a little bit about how I was speaking on it earlier is being alone is something that I grew up as seeing as like a negative or weird, like you can't sit alone at a lunch table, all this programming in our head, especially as children, we're so vulnerable. It's like, that's weird to see someone sitting by themselves. I feel so sorry for them, you know, in a restaurant or in a society that sets those boundaries for you, and saying like, hey, these things aren't normal. That's weird. You don't sit alone. You don't do things alone. And so when I first jumped into solo travel, I was so excited to be on my own. You know, I was really, really excited. Like, oh, I just made this great decision. I'm sad, but everything feels right. And I was completely alone. But what I realized was I was in the wrong environment. You know, I was in this environment that was telling me that these things were weird. And then I started getting in an environment that aligned with me, and I was around people from all over the world completely alone. People from Africa, people from Japan, people from everything you can think of. Traveling through Vietnam because they want to discover a part of themselves. Traveling, who knows, like all these amazing, diverse stories from people from all over the world with the same goal to discover more. And I was like, there's people like there's girls out there with the story similar to mine. I'm not alone. I'm actually not alone at all. I'm actually, for the first time, feel heard And, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think it's like you could be surrounded by people and feel completely alone. Or you can be alone on the other side of the world and feel more in the presence of other people than you ever have in your life. Because you're finally in alignment with people that hear you and resonate with you. And that just gives you this motivation and this ambition to just skyrocket into what you really want and learn from all of these unique perspectives. And it's when you're around people that you do feel like are looking through a straw hole, it really becomes this circle of limitation from the things that you can't see. When everything you need is around you, it's all there accessible for you right in the palm of your hands. Again, kind of what you're saying about the masks. You just got to be willing to see it. But tapping a little bit more into that is like, the reality is, yes, you never feel alone because you're with great people, but you are also adapting this new level of love for yourself and presence and conversations, that the presence of you by yourself is actually something that you enjoy more than conversation with other people or constant communication, constant energy share exchange. You start to really enjoy your own energy and love the presence of yourself. And that is when I healed from my eating disorder, because I was on my own. No more excuses, no more making up. It's my environment. It's this, it's the people around me. No, still you, sis, you know? And now you're by yourself, so you actually have to learn how to love yourself, or you're going to die, like literally. And that being alone is the best thing in the world. It's so good for you. And it's like when you love yourself so much and you fill up your cup so fucking much, it starts to just overflow. And that's what goes to the other people.
Yeah, rather than just constantly like pouring from yourself. It's like, oh, I'm going to pour into myself. And then there's this overflow that everybody else gets to enjoy. It sounds like what you're saying is that being alone helped you to create a deeper relationship with yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And for you to align with who you knew you were deep down. For you to actually face that and step into that and let everything else that was kind of layered on top like shed away.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to finish off with like a question to you around advice. Yeah. Like if there are any people listening to this podcast that feel like they're in a similar position to where you were, you know, maybe they're at this tipping point, like, life sucks, what the fuck? Or maybe there's just like a little bit more of a subtle nudge, like being like, hey, there's more, like this is out of alignment. Like maybe it feels a little bit more subtle. Like what would you say to that person?
Yeah. I guess my biggest piece of advice would be that your fear is valid. You're supposed to be scared. This is something new. You're supposed to have a doubt. You're going into the unknown. You're jumping into something you don't know what's going to come. And to lean into fear as much as you possibly can. Lean into failure. Because if you continue to see failure as a learning lesson, because it's like every time we fail, we get closer and closer to our success. We learn and we learn and we learn. When you embrace failure as a success, when you embrace fear as a success, you never truly fail, you know? And it eliminates that fear of failure. It's like, don't be afraid. Listen to your heart, you know?
How would you invite someone to, I guess, hold themselves as they're leaning into fear or leaning into that edge and the unknown? Like, what advice would you give in that situation? Like, okay, cool, bitch, you're telling me to lean into the fear and the edge. How? Because it's scary, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is there anything that you've done to support yourself more as you've leaned into the edges?
Yeah, I think it's really giving myself the space and time to know what I truly desire and sitting with that So that way I feel more comfortable jumping into those fears. That way I can back myself up and say, even though this is so scary, I know it's right because I truly know what I want. I truly know what I want in my future. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not supposed to be, because it'll change and develop and grow as you will.
Yeah.
But when you know, hey, I have the best intentions for myself. These are my values. You know, just have a conversation with yourself. What are my values? And am I actually in alignment with it? And that has really helped me be like, okay, now I know that I can lean into the uncomfortable because it's in alignment, long term, short term, it's in alignment with my values.
And what you actually want for yourself.
What I actually
And you
want.
may not have like a complete full picture of what you want for yourself. You might
Right.
just have a little seed.
Exactly.
You might have a little seed that it's like, okay, what I know that I want is that I want to travel.
Right.
Yeah, you might not know where you want to go.
Right.
You might just know that you want to do full-time solo traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, cool. If that is actually what I want and I can feel that inner knowing that that's for me, if that's all you know, like trust in that feeling. Trust that everything else is going to unfold in the perfect time, space sequence and you're going to be supported in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And yeah, I think that's an important piece. And also like just plain and simple, regulate yourself.
Just, oh my God, just regulate. Just regulate. It's like,
How do you regulate yourself?
I love that question. Meditation has been the best thing I have ever really dove into. Like, one of the biggest things I learned in that 12-hour meditation with the monk, even there was a lot that was learned, but
The 12. Everyone go to, where was it? Thailand. Go to Thailand. Sit with the monk for 12 hours and you'll know.
No, but what I learned was the way that we process our thoughts, like in the sense of in meditation, we believe that we're supposed to just sit in peace. We're supposed to just kind of like, just ignore, let everything kind of, all of your stuff kind of just flood out and think about white and be at peace. That's not it at all. Meditation is supposed to hurt. It's supposed to be painful. And you're supposed to bring all of these things out of your subconscious to your conscious and address all of them. So that way you work through them, that you can truly be at peace. You can truly process everything. And that becomes how you move in life and any new thing that comes into your life. So, yeah, I think it's really important for me, staying regulated is continuing that practice.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I also love what you said, like meditate, like, you know, we have these ideas around what meditation is meant to be and what it isn't. And like, you know, sometimes it might be peaceful and sometimes it'd be painful. Yeah. Or loud or busy or.
Yes. Most of my meditations are painful. Most of them are crying. Most of them are pain. It's giving yourself the space and the love to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is self-love.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. I hope this episode has inspired you, you know, and called you forward and been an invitation to trust your truth and what you're being guided to do and to just take the next step, whatever that looks like.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I love you.
I love you too. Yay. See you next time, guys.